Hey, good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jade Hindmon. We've got a lot of rain moving into the area and meteorologist Andy Wood is joining us over in the Weather Center with all the details. Hi, Andy.
Hey, Jade, a lot of rain moving in right now.
All right, Andy, thanks. Hey, we begin with the story you'll see only on Fox. Firefighters say a home in Greenville County exploded earlier tonight. The house is destroyed. Fox Carolina's Derek Dellinger is live at the scene. And Derek, it looks like a wrecking ball just mangled that house behind you.
Yeah, and I'm going to get out of the way so you can actually see what's happening here right now. Firefighters are still on the scene.
Derek, thanks. A Spartanburg County deputy's wife is recovering from an accidental shooting tonight. We're told that shooting happened this afternoon during a concealed weapons class. The class was at a shooting range on South Alabama Avenue in Chesney. Sheriff Chuck Wright held a press conference this evening. He said during the live fire portion of the CWP class, one of the students was being shown the proper way to grip her pistol when the gun discharged, hitting a woman identified as Crystal Smith. The bullet went through her arm and into her side. Smith was placed into a personal vehicle and taken to the Raceway gas station off I-85 and 221, where she was placed on a medical helicopter and flown to the hospital. Tonight, Smith is out of surgery and doing well. Sheriff Wright was publicly urging people to familiarize themselves with guns and get concealed weapons permits. Here's what he had to say about the accident.
I still stand behind my comments on getting a CWP. I think that's a really good way to protect yourself. But as anything, you have to be very cautious when you are messing with any kind of weapon.
The shooting has been ruled an accident, but tonight the incident is still under investigation. Investigators in western North Carolina are searching for a bank robber who sparked a bomb scare. Here's a look at the suspect entering the Fifth Third Bank in Forest City Friday afternoon. Officers say the suspect handed a teller a note and put a package on the counter that he claimed was a bomb. Here's a closer look at the suspect before he took off with the cash. Forest City Police responded along with the Gastonia Bomb Squad and ATF agents. The bomb squad determined the package was not an explosive, and police say if you have any information on that suspect, to please call the Rutherford County dispatchers. The number there, 828-286-2911. Investigators in Spartanburg County are hoping a new sketch can help identify a woman's body that was found last year. SLED artists worked with forensic anthropologists and dental experts to create this sketch of what the woman may have looked like. Investigators believe the woman was between 40 and 50 years old. She may have been missing for 5 or more years. The woman's body was discovered last October in the StarTex community. Investigators say they are still following leads on the case. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. The number 188-CRIME-SC.
Our own Jade Hindmon joins us live from Honea Path with more on this story. Jade?
Well, Diana, I spoke with the baby's great-grandmother. She says tonight 9-month-old Jordan is doing just fine. She says she loves her great-grandson. She loves her granddaughter, but she says she thinks her granddaughter did not do what she was supposed to do and that there's an even bigger problem within the neighborhood. This is 9-month-old Jordan. He looks healthy and happy, but there was something wrong Saturday night.
She said that he had an ear infection, and she was going to take him to the hospital.
The police report says Jordan's mother, 20-year-old Michelle Butler, never finished giving him the medicine the doctor prescribed because she spilled it. A neighbor reported the 9-month-old was running a fever and scratching at his ears. The report also says when he got to the hospital, as nurses removed the diaper, maggots fell to the bed and his urine tested positive for marijuana. His great-grandmother didn't want to go on camera, but still wanted to speak out.
She didn't do what she supposed to do, and like I said, she did what she did. She was wrong for doing what she done, and I fussed at her. So you got to see about your baby, because nobody else can see after but you.
Katie Butler says her great-grandson hadn't gained weight in the last 2 months, and that Michelle seemed to be struggling with some problems. All issues, she says, DSS was trying to address.
The mother of this child has been attending some type of parenting or some kind of classes to help her care for this child better.
Preventative measures to save a child's life, which police say was not the case for 2 children who died due to child neglect and lived in the same complex. One last month, the other over the summer.
These are God's children, and he don't want his children mistreated. And these babies did not ask to be born. They didn't have to be born. Somebody got to take care of them.
Now, tonight, Michelle Butler is out on bond. 9-month-old Jordan is in DSS custody. Live in Hania Path, Jade Hindmon, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
We do want to give you one more update to some breaking news we've been following for you throughout this newscast. Let's go ahead and go out to Fox Carolina's Jade Hindmon. She's on Kennedy Street in Anderson. Jade.
Well, right now, neighbors are telling me that around 9 o'clock, a young man was gunned down here behind me at the intersection of Kennedy and Hampton. Right now, the coroner is on scene. Anderson police are on scene, as well as the forensics unit, all of them trying to piece together what happened. His body's still in the intersection as they try to investigate this. They're going through every steps right now. They are talking to witnesses and bringing out more crews to investigate this. Of course, we'll have the latest on this shooting coming up on The Morning News starting at 5 a.m. For now, we're live in Anderson. Jade Hindmon, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
Do you believe that people have the power to change the world?
We do!
Here we go!
The Campaign for Southern Equality says they are pushing for full equality under federal law. They want all lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people to be able to get married and say, "I do" in South Carolina. They marched from the Warehouse Theater to probate court to request a marriage license.
What you're doing today is on behalf of a community of millions of people. And that many people have your back right now. When you go in there, I want you to feel the love that surrounds you in this circle.
The first couple, Alyssa Weaver and Michael McElver, are engaged. They walk in knowing they'll be denied.
Here's your application back and also a copy of the code.
We understand that you're just doing your job, but and we can appreciate that, but
you know, we want to live our lives and we want to get married, and we hope that one day South Carolina will recognize us as full citizens.
It was the same scenario for Pastor Rashawn and Kelvin Barlow Flanoy. They got married about a year ago in D.C. Their marriage is not recognized here in South Carolina.
What proper ways or steps can we do to have the same rights as everyone else?
I don't have any idea. I don't make the laws.
Standing there, I got emotional because I've never had the experience of being denied loving the person that I love. And it takes a lot of courage.
And they intend to stay in the fight until same-sex marriage is legal across the country.
We're not changing because this is who we are inside. And for God I live and for God I die, but this is the man that I love. This is the man that I marry. And no one's going to change that. No one's going to change that.
Marty Young and his son Jesse from the Sportsman One Stop in Iva are among the bravest of anglers who use their hands as bait in a sport called noodling.
All these country boys, we've always known about it. You know, there's not a whole lot to do down here. We find things that's fun.
We wanted to see what all the fun was about. Photographer Mike Birchfield and I joined the crew and headed down the back roads of Iva to the border of South Carolina and Georgia. How ironic, we all end up at Lake Thurmond, and I, being a city girl from St. Louis, never thought I'd be here.
What we have to do is just search for the hole. You just feel around with your hands until you find a crevice.
Sometimes the hole is 15 feet underwater, other times it's just below the surface.
They'll bite you pretty hard. They're in these rocks laying their eggs, and they're trying to protect their eggs. So when you come in, they see it as a threat.
And they try to attack.
They try to attack.
So does that hurt?
Sometimes, when how big the fish is. That's why we wear gloves.
Okay. Nobody's ever lost a finger or anything, though?
No. Not in my outfit.
But not everyone's been so lucky.
You ready to try?
Well, I figured I'd watch you first, and then I'd try.
Make sure there's no snake in there.
Well, sure, yeah. The risk is always there that lurking deep down in the hole is a snapping alligator turtle, a beaver, or a snake instead of a catfish. The wrong hole could send you to the hospital, but after 20 minutes, there's no sign of danger or a catfish. So, doesn't look like there's been any luck so far. Maybe they need a little lady's luck. And so I guess I'll go head in and see what I can do. All right. I'm coming, but I ain't going nowhere fast.
I made it over to that side of the lake to find the holes vacant, so it's back to the boat and on to the next place. Which brings us here to an area where vines stretch out into the water over the rocks. There's an even greater chance of finding a snake here when Jesse reaches into a hole. Thankfully, there's a fish.
Draw any blood?
I got scratched up a little bit. I was pulling out that rock. It was so small in there. My big old hand.
One big hand and 2 fish on the line. Not a bad catch for a day on Lake Thurmond until you compare the pictures from the week before. 50-pound monster catfish snatched from the same lake.
I like to catch fish, so I do whatever it takes.
Diving into the deepest and murkiest of water, reaching into the unknown just for the sport of it. Jade Hindmon, Fox Carolina News.